Hello, welcome to NOLA Stamping. So today we're going to be making a fun card using the last of the Floral Delights paper. And I have to say, I have loved playing with this paper all month long. It's just so bright and cheerful, and it really has definitely added to my paper crafting this month. So we're gonna dive right into this last card where we're just using up a couple little scraps. So I'm using the two-tone cardstock, and so I'm going to be using the crumb cake for the card base. And so what I'm going to do is cut a piece that's 4¼ inches wide, and then I'm scoring it at 5½ inches. And then we're going to play with the sizing in just a little bit when we assemble the card. So then we're gonna, that vellum is so awesome. You see through and then it's printed. It looks really cool. So we're gonna cut a piece that's 4¼ inches wide for that. And then we're gonna need just a little interior sentiment panel, since the color is just a little dark for me to put the sentiments on. So you're gonna cut a piece that's 4 inches by 5¼ And then go ahead and grab your Floral Delights. I only have a couple of sheets left, so I was looking at the different patterns, and I'm just going to go ahead and use this like a yellow doily pattern. And so I'm cutting a piece that's 4 inches wide, and realistically you only need about 3-ish inches. So if you only have a piece that's like 4 by 3-ish inches, you can use that. But I just cut it at 4, so then I can just fake it while we're doing it. So I'm just going to put a little piece of tape runner at the very, very top, only going down about 1 inch. And so I'm going to go ahead and put it on like a mat where I can get it like a little messy. And I'm marking 1 inch and 1¾ inch on the side. And then I'm just taking my water brush and just drawing the line that I want to go down the side. So go ahead and draw it however you want it to go. So I just want just a easy little angle. And then that top paper will just tear right off. And then go ahead and use that water brush and draw another, just following that same sort of line, but doing it like about 1/4 inch so that you can see the two different layers. And then I'm just going to go grab my bone folder, and I'm using it to just sort of distress the edges so that it just pops up. And it's better to do it while it's wet because it'll give it like just a little bit more texture. And you know, because that white interior on the cardstock, it'll really pop out well if you can see it. And so I think that looks pretty fantastic. So on the back side of the card base, I'm going to go ahead and put a couple more pieces of tape runner, and then I'm going to put that piece that's 5 and about 1/4 inches by 4¼ inches wide. And I'm just going to use that for the back of the card. And then I'm just sort of sizing it up and just sort of looking for where it's going to look the best. So I'm putting that interior sentiment panel so that, you know, you just can get a good idea for how it's going to look. And I'm just putting a couple pieces of tape runner down, and then putting that card where it needs to go. So go ahead and grab your paper trimmer, and then we're gonna cut it at 5½ inches. And then I noticed it's just a hair off on the side, so I just tightened that up so that it'll be nice and straight. And then what I'm gonna do is figure out where I want that top piece, and then I move it down 1/4 inch, so then that way there's 1/4 inch border all the way around. So there's a nice little frame around the bottom and a nice little frame around that top. So, and then I'm just going to go ahead and just lightly add a little bit more water just so that I can texture that white core, so it really reads as it's been torn, just to give that card just that little bit more texture. So let's get to stamping. So there's actually very little stamping, although I use a lot of stamps. So I'm going to go ahead and on that interior sentiment panel, I'm going to stamp that Hoping Your Day Blooms with Happiness. It's from the Year of Flowers stamp set. And so those are all cling stamps. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Stampin' Right markers, and I'm just going to color up the back of the stamp with those markers, because I don't want, there's like months along the flowers, and I just wanted the flowers. I didn't want the months to show up. And the easiest way to do that is just color in what you want on the stamp with the markers. And then you just sort of blow on it. You just huff, and then it stamps beautifully. I like how it comes out. It looks kind of watercolory-ish, especially if you're using like a couple of different stamps. And then I'm gonna stamp something for the exterior sentiment. And then I'm using also a stamp from the Bright Borders stamp set. And I just stamped that in Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to cut one of those out and use it for the front. I was a little worried with how it would work on the front panel. So I did two of them, but I ended up only needing one. So you can get by with just doing the one sort of, what do you call that? A little banner sort of thing. So like one works. So go ahead and grab those stamps again, and this time I'm going to use the stamp from April, and I'm just going to use those same markers, the Old Olive and the Daffodil Delight, to color in that stamp again. I did play around with trying to do shadows with the Crushed Curry and the Daffodil Delight, but I don't know, it seems to all come out about the same color, so it doesn't really do too much, just because I think those flowers are just a little small. Anyways, so I'm stamping one flower as much to the left as possible and kind of higher in that box, sort of centering it in that space. So, okay, let's go ahead and assemble it. So take that interior sentiment panel and go ahead and attach it to the inside of the card, and just leave a nice little border all the way around, just to give it a little bit of space. And because we stamped the sentiment in that first inch, nothing shows through on the center of the card, and the flowers in the lower right hand corner covered up by the bottom part, right? So I'm just going to take that exterior sort of sentiment that I wanted, and I'm going to dovetail the left hand side of it, just to add it onto the top there. And then I'm going to sort of fingernail distress it. So if your fingernails aren't as the toughest, you can always use a bone folder, or you could use something from your a nail kit, the sandpaper or the emery board or whatever. That works too. But or even wetting the edges and then running the bone folder around it works also. And so then we're just going to attach it to the card front at about the center, and then we're going to put that brackets sort of thing, we're going to have it go off the side of the card, but you don't want to put too much adhesive on so that you get the adhesive cut off. So I'm just putting a couple little dimensionals on there, and then I figure I'm going to go in and add the last couple on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim off that excess off of the top and the bottom. And it's just kind of cool. It gives it a nice little texture. And then we're going to cut that the other side of it, and put that in the upper left-hand side, so that it just sort of evens out the card, you know, and how it goes sort of sideways in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those dimensionals and add 2 dimensionals to the edges of the card, or of the bracket, just to make sure that it sort of stays in place and doesn't like come loose at all. And then I'm just going to go grab a little bit of glue and attach it to the front, just so that everything just sort of stays together nicely. We did use the tape runner, which is pretty solid also, but that little bit of glue won't be seen, so it'll be fine, and it'll just sort of firm everything up. Okay, time for just a couple finishing touches. So I decided I didn't like the daisy having the thin stem, so I just went ahead and used the bullet side of the Stampin' Right marker to add in that stem. And then I'm grabbing the embellishments that came with the citrus blooms. I still have a bunch of those left, so I'm going to try use some of those up on this card. And I added some to that upper left-hand corner, and in the upper right, and in the top and the bottom. And then I just played around too much, probably added too many, but can there be too many pieces of bling? No. I added a clear one to the center of that daisy. I think that looks really fantastic. And I think that is it. This card has a lot of texture, and I think it's a fun one to make. So I hope you were able to make it or make it your own. And just don't forget to stay crafty.